What are 5 things not to do in your child custody hearing that's coming up? Hey, my name is Ron Payne, and I'm an attorney here in Kernersville, North Carolina with Payne Law, and I'm the CEO and managing partner. And I just wanted to share 5 tips what not to do in your child custody hearing. First tip is you don't want to spend the time you have on the stand. Nobody's going to get to testify forever. So you really want to spend the time you have talking about yourself and how good you're doing. Don't spend that time bashing your ex. First off, most of the time you have it third hand. You've got it from your kids, you heard it from the friend, you heard it from his ex-girlfriend, whatever. Don't spend that time that you don't have that personal knowledge of talking about what he's doing. When it's your turn on the stand, you want to talk about what you've done right, how the kids are thriving when they're with you, how everything is according to plan, how you have structure, how the kids are well fed, how they're getting to school on time, how you're meeting all of their needs despite the lack of help from somebody else. What you don't want to do is sound negative Nancy and just complain, because at the end of the hearing, the judge didn't hear why you're a good parent. They only heard why the other parent's a bad parent. Well, the odds are the other parent's going to get up there and say the exact same thing, and the judge is going to go, well, you're both crappy parents. And guess what? 50-50 custody. It's the law of the land. So don't spend your time bashing the other parent. Spend the time talking about how awesome you are. Secondly, don't mess up your timeline. Look, I get it. By the time you get to a court date, it has been a long time since a lot of this stuff went down, especially the first time you get to court. And so it's tempting to try to remember everything off the top of your head. First off, try to keep a journal. Most of us aren't good with dates, and we're not good with dates where so much has probably happened since all of this started, right? So you want to keep a journal, and then that way your dates are both fresh and they're accurate. And if somebody questions you on it, you can say, well, I thought I had that date right, but let me check my journal. And you can pull out the journal, and most of our judges let folks use journals in court. You'll have to share that journal with the other side probably, so don't put things in there like it's not a personal journal, it's a log of what's going on. But if you get up in front of the judge and you say on April 1st, da-da-da-da-da, on April 7th, blah, blah, on April 10th, the police got called out, on April 12th, I took the kids to the counselor, on April 13th, we went back to the doctor's office, da-da-da-da-da-da, and you've got all your details in a row, and you know you've got them down, then your testimony is going to be credible. And that way the judge knows that what you're telling is the truth, and they're going to be more likely to rely on it. If you get up there and you're like, well, I think it was the 1st of April, or was it March? I don't know. Maybe it was May. Well, sometime back in then we had things happen. If you seem like you don't remember, then it either minimizes it, makes it seem like, well, it wasn't that big of a deal, because if it was, you would remember. Or, worst case, you're just making it up. Because if you don't have the doctor's receipts and the invoices and the proof of it, and you sound iffy about it, then it sounds like you're just lying about it. So, know your timeline before you're to court. Plus, if you have a journal, you can easily review that before the court date to make sure that everything's fresh in your head before you go and start talking to the judge and being cross-examined by the other attorney, because they're going to try to pick apart everything you say. But your attorney's going to do the same to them, and that's okay. Third thing is, do not wear offensive clothing to the hearing. I'm talking about the folks who wear marijuana pants to a hearing where they're being accused of using marijuana in front of the kids. I would never. Really? Are you sure about that? Or they wear things like F the po-po, or they've got Confederate flag shirts with people that are clearly not aligned with their values. You don't want to wear that stuff to court. Dress simply, dress professionally, dress jeans and a t-shirt, wear your work shirt. You know, sometimes we represent doctors or nurses. They're coming straight from work, and you come in your scrubs. Look, that's fine too. But whatever you do, you don't want to walk in and their first impression to a judge be a shirt that says F the po-po. Because guess what? The judge already thinks you're a liar and a bad person, because they work with cops every day in their job. And they don't think most of them are bad apples. And so you're already setting off on the wrong foot, and you haven't even had a chance to testify yet. And the judge already thinks you're a liar. Okay? So don't wear offensive clothing. The fourth thing I want you to not do is don't lie, right? First off, there's an attorney on the other side who's going to pick apart everything you say. If you lie, they probably know, and they will pick it apart. But here's the hard part, right? If you lie to the judge and you get caught, and you will, on anything, if any of your stuff is a lie, even if it's a little one, then it makes a lot of the little stuff seem like a lie. And Lord forbid you get caught on a big lie, nothing you say is credible. None of the good stuff you've done for your kids, credible. Not anymore. None of the times you've been on time or you've been late, not credible. If you've made mistakes, and look, if you're in the middle of a custody battle, the stress is enough to make everybody make mistakes. You know what? I let them stay up too late watching the Super Bowl, and we were late to school the next day, and I'm sorry. It was the first time they were late, and we won't make that a regular thing, but it was after the Super Bowl. Or, I don't know. They were late to school because I overslept. Hey, look, it happens. If it happens every week, you've got a problem on your hands. If it happens once or twice, look, most of our judges have been parents. They've got kids. They get it. But don't lie about it, because then not only are you not telling the truth, but everything you've said is a lie, and they won't believe anything. The last one is kind of my favorite thing not to do before your custody hearing is get arrested. Really? No, I'm not kidding. I had a case one time where 3 hearings in a row, the opposing party, thankfully not my side, got arrested for something. It wasn't related to the kids in most cases, but every time we'd go to have a custody hearing, they got arrested. Not only did the attorney have to explain why their client got arrested, they had to explain why we had to continue the custody hearing. And so it didn't look good for them. And then immediately I'm over here asking, well, based on that, I think we should give my client more time and their client less time. So the first time you get arrested, okay, bad choices happen. We get it. But what ends up happening is if you keep getting arrested second and third times, then you're really going to have your fitness as a parent questioned, especially if you happen to get arrested every night before a court case. So don't do it. Okay? Just don't go to jail. Don't do things that get you to jail. And if you've got friends who are going to put you in a position that you might be going to jail, don't hang out with those friends anymore. If your children's custody and well-being is important to you, don't hang out with those folks anymore. And look, I get it. There's no judgment here, okay? I'm an attorney, not a judge. We're not going to judge you. Our job as your attorney is to make the best of whatever situation you find yourself in. So if you've made some of these mistakes, we can help you rectify it. We'll help get you into a better position, and then we'll be able to use your better position to help go to a judge and say, hey, I know we made mistakes, but we're ready for more time. My client's here and they're ready to parent. And if you're on the other side of that and the other parent just keeps messing up and you're like, why isn't my case going anywhere? Reach out to the team at Payne Law. We can help you. We've been doing this for over 10 years. We know what we're doing in the custody courtroom, and we are here to help. We will help you avoid these mistakes before your hearing, and we'll help coach you during the hearing to make sure that your testimony gives your best side to the judge so the judge can make the best decision for you and your children. I hope this has been helpful. Again, my name is Ron Payne with Payne Law here in Kernersville. Like and subscribe on YouTube for more helpful legal content. You can also visit us on the web at applepaynelaw.com. And if you'd like to set up a consultation, you can give us a call at 336-281-6928. Thanks, and have a great day.